My name is Mohsen. In this series of program, I'm discussing about films. The film that I chose for discussion is a series of Chronicles of Narnia. And yesterday I started to talk about the Voyage of Dawn Trader from C.S. Lewis. So I told from the first film of the Chronicles of Narnia, when we meet and we saw 4 children that they entered to the Narnia. They didn't know about Narnia. It was unknown for them. And these 4 children in Narnia, first of all, Lucy discovered Narnia and she told her sibling they didn't believe her. And then in the second film, we see that again after 1 year, they come back to Narnia, 4 of them. And there was another, every film there is a battle, and at the end of the film, the battle has won in favor of them. In the second film, we see that they met the Prince Caspian 10 and they fight against Mira's uncle, Prince Caspian 10, and they became victorious. And at the end of the film, we see that Susan and Peter didn't return to Narnia. Aslan told them, and also themselves declared that they not gonna come back to the Narnia. And in a third film, The Voyage of Dawn Trader, we see that 2 younger, Lucy and Edmund, came back to Narnia with one of his and her relative, Eustace. They come back to the Narnia and again they meet Prince Caspian 10 and they ask, did you blow the horn again? But they said, no, I didn't blow the horn. And they discovered that the people of the island, they sacrifice other people and they sell them to slavery. The crew of the ship, they rescued them when they entered the real ocean. Because they were in the room and the painting on the wall, water come out of the painting of the wall and fill the room with the water, and they come to the real ocean. And a ship rescued them, and they come on board of the ship. And we see that in the film, Eustace always complaining about the situation. And even said, oh, I will go to British Embassy and complain. Okay, when they were rescued by the crew of the ship, they met a wizard, and wizard told them that you have to gather 7 swords to break the spell, because there was a spell and everyone was afraid of that spell. So they had to gather 7 swords and put it on the table, and the spell break. But he warned them that until you gather all 7 and put 7 swords on the table, you will be tempted in any different way. And we saw that in the film, Lucy wanted to be like Susan because she thought she is more beautiful than her, and she wished to be like Susan. Okay, from now on, I will continue speaking about the rest of the film because it was a summary of the film. And you can read all these reviews on my website, www.speakerproduction.ca. Don't forget to check out my website. Okay, now we are in an island and they want to discover 7 swords. We see this number of 7 anywhere, everywhere. When characters in the stories, in the film, try to accomplish something, we see that there is obstacles, there is some difficulties he had to overcome. And we come forward and see that they go into the ocean again. And they were desperate because they were going nowhere. They were turning and turning and turning again. They didn't know where they are going. When they get tired, and Eustace always reading a journal. From back home until Narnia, Eustace was writing a journal because he wanted to see after that passed, he doesn't be afraid anymore. He was afraid from that time. They were in England. Even he called, Mom, when the water from the painting came, and he was writing journal. And in the ship, he was writing journal again. Said that, everybody is frustrated, everybody is confused, and they are tired. And it's natural to be tired in the ship after a long travel. So it is natural. But Eustace didn't see the bright side. Before they came along the ship, there was a man who lost his wife. They sacrificed her along others to spell. We don't know what kind of spell is that. And the man said, I'll come with you. I want to rescue my wife. And they go along. In the middle of the ocean, they discovered that a little girl is in the ship. That was the daughter of the man. And they said, okay, we cannot do anything right now. She is already in the ship. So we have a new passenger. The first stop they came, the captain of the ship warned Prince Caspian that if we go forward, there is no return anymore. We are far away. We reach to a point of no return, that we cannot return to our previous place. So decide right now. And Prince Caspian said, move forward. We can go forward. And they come to the shore. In the shore, they get tempted. First of all, Lucy read the spell and she became like Susan, as she wished. When she wished and she became like Susan, she saw that herself as Susan, and she saw Peter and Edmund alongside her. They were having fun. But when she asked, where is Lucy? They said, who is Lucy? We don't know Lucy. And said, oh, it's not right. It's wrong. Let's go back to Narnia. They said, what? Narnia? What is Narnia? And then, where is it really? And she came to her senses and said, oh, what have I done? And Aslan came and met her and said, what have you done, my daughter? You wish to be someone else, then you lose your identity. I told you about identity last chapter. When you wish to be someone else, you lose your own yourself. Then you don't exist anymore. And then he told her that you was the first one who discovered Narnia. When Lucy doesn't exist, then Narnia doesn't exist to the siblings. They don't know about Narnia because Lucy didn't exist to discover Narnia. And then she found that she made a very big mistake. She regret all of that. And then she fixed the mistake, and Aslan helped her to fix the mistake, and then she became Lucy again, and we go forward. So we come to another person, Eustace. Eustace was in the island, and he was separated from others. He saw a vast land of jewelry, gold, and he was excited. He came there and gathered as much as gold as he could, but you know that it's not good, and you cannot keep gold in Narnia. You cannot bring it with you in that land. Sorry about that. When he gathered so many gold, he became like a dragon. He became a dragon. And he was so frustrated about that situation. He even cried because they couldn't do anything about it. Sometimes our mistakes have an eternal effect, and we cannot reverse it anymore. So be careful about your decision. Now we come to Edmund and Prince Caspian. They were searching, so they find the first one in the place of that wizard, and they found the second one. And when they come to discover the third one, they see a cave and a lake. There was something like lake, and there was a sword inside of the lake. When they wanted to catch the sword, they saw that the water is magical. Everything come inside of the water became gold. But they managed to get the sword. But there was another temptation there. Edmund wanted to gather gold like Eustace. And they fight with Prince Caspian. And Lucy come and make peace. And she said, "Can you see you are being tempted? Stop that." And they move forward. They were tempted in different ways, by gold, by power. And they came back to the ship. And there a dragon attacked the ship. They didn't know it is Eustace, but Eustace came and kidnapped Edmund and bring him to the land and show him that he is Eustace. They couldn't believe that. When they discovered, they said, "What we can do to fix this problem?" But nothing come to their mind. And then they discovered more sword in every situation that they face. They discovered another sword until they discovered 6 of them. From that, if we go back to Eustace's situation, Eustace helped them to fight against some creature in the land, because it's not easy. It's not easy to achieve a goal. You face so many difficulties, and when you face that, you need some help. And their help was Eustace. Eustace was a dragon, and he can throw fire, and he could fight with that creature out of the land, out of the water. When they became victorious and they went to the place that they should see 7 sword of 7, and they put the 7 of them onto the table to break the spell. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, White Queen became appeared. She appeared and said, "Oh, Edmund, I can make you king over again. I can give you wealth." And there was a table full of fruit. But it was a struggle. It was not easy to put 7 of them on the table. After that, they managed somehow to put 7 swords on the table. When they put 7 of swords on the table, the sword turned blue and they were shaking because they were in effective mode. But interesting thing is that we see White Queen get defeated in the first film, and we saw her in the second film, and we saw her in the third film, again and again defeated. So devil is present all the time. Maybe she or he is a background, but we have to be aware of the presence of the evil all the time. Represent White Queen. And we see that Lucy always was hopeful. After 7 swords come into the table, they turn blue, and all of a sudden, all the curses, all the spells break. And we see that all the boats, all the family members that were sacrificed to that ugly thing, they released, and everyone was happy. And Aslan came again and said, "You have done a good job." And they had to return to their home. But this time, Eustace was with them. And when Aslan helped Eustace to become a boy again, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was so mean." And now, after these experiences, he changed his character and his life changed, actually. So sometimes we pass through the difficulties. After that difficulties, we discover something. We can declare that, oh, there was a purpose on all these difficulties. Because when Eustace was a dragon, a mouse, I told you a mouse came and the first time to rescue Eustace. And mouse told him that extraordinary things happen to extraordinary people. So if something bizarre happened to you, be sure that there is a purpose on that. Don't be discouraged. Peace of God be with you all, and don't forget to check out my website, speakerproduction.ca. Until tomorrow and another film, I leave you with this fact that God loves you and God has a plan for you to prosper you, not harm you. Peace of God be with you.